Hello, I am Duncan Baldwin. I have been in the martial arts for 40 years now, including Okinawan Karate, Taekwondo, Tang Soo Do, Tai Chi, Wing Chun, Eskrima, and American Kempo Karate. This presentation is about self-defense, using a subset of my system, 5-element Kempo Karate, that I call effective self-protection, or ESP for short. What is self-defense? I would say extract yourself from a hostile situation without getting harmed or with minimal hurt. Your response should be dictated by the situation you find yourself in. Your capability for helping yourself or your loved ones is determined by your spirit and skills that you have prepared yourself in. What I am offering in this presentation is a concise overview of a 5-section course I teach and a recorded review for those who have experienced it. It shows principles in release techniques that progress from situations where I simply grabbed to where you are pushed, hugged, choked, and even thrown into a headlock. What makes these techniques effective is that we are using body dynamics and acupressure points to achieve the releases. It does not require brute force, but skill in the knowledge and execution of the particular action. Acupressure points are activated 3 ways: with a touch, with a rub, or with a strike. Learning where these points are and which points are activated with a rub, touch, or strike is the aim of this presentation. You'll find out that you don't necessarily need to hit somebody to extract yourself from a dangerous situation. And that's what this presentation is about. We have 2 points right here on the wrist on either side, 45 degrees. They're not straight here and they're not straight here. They come out at an angle. Okay? And they are 1/2 inch from where this bends. You can also find this big bone right here as you come down, just on the inside of that. This one is your rub, and this one is your touch. The way to activate that is to rub it. Now, you can go right to it and rub it, but I like to come up here and come down, because then the energy comes down this side, over here, and up. So I'm actually causing energy to back up here. Fist, wrist, F over W. This one controls the ability to keep a tight fist. This one to keep a tight wrist. If I bend the wrist, because of the structure of the hand and the ligaments, you'll see when you bend this, it opens the fingers. So, to activate this is a rub point. Okay? You do that, and that opens. Go ahead and close your fist. If I rub this, and I don't want to just go along the surface, that doesn't do anything. I have to actually kind of dig into it. And that opens just like you saw. Okay? Now the other one is a touch. And so I'll need to touch that, and usually what I want to do is not just touch it, but actually grind the point against the bone so I know I have the point. And usually what we do with that one is when somebody has grabbed us and that's when I can go back here. Go ahead and get tight. I grab here, touch that, and you see how by doing this it bends that, opens and releases. If somebody has grabbed me, go ahead and grab harder. The harder he does, the more this is tense, and the easier this works to get out. So all I did was come here, rub that relaxed this, and then by just pulling this towards myself, it pops out because his fingers can't control it. And on this side from this view, he's got me grabbed. If I would come back here, I just touch that, and again, it's not the finger so much as the wrist, but when I turn the wrist, the fingers open up. Okay. The 2 points we're looking at here are triple warmer. Triple warmer 11 and 12. You can find 11, it's actually, there's this tendon that's come down here and it's split in a Y, it's actually in between them. So you can actually put a finger in there, and this happens to be a rub point. So hitting this doesn't do anything. You have to rub it. You can locate it by putting your fingers across this. You're cupping the elbow with this, and then you just go in like that, and it rubs it. It's not often you'll be able to do this. Okay. So you can still use the entire forearm here. And instead of trying to locate the point, which I don't like to do, I don't like to dot things. I like to locate them in a general term. So again, I will try to pull slightly, so he tries to pull back. When I pull, I just go up here and twist it. Now I call this the royal wave. And it's because when you look at Queen Elizabeth and she waves a crowd, she doesn't do this because that's too tiring in that. She just rotates. Hello, hello. And so that's what we do with this. I call it the royal wave. We just do it toward our center, and that will activate the on the tricep. The other tricep muscles come up here, and they sort of come out. 12 is a hip point, it's there. If you look on the bicep in the center of it and put a straight line through that to the other side, that's where it is. Now, this one, like I said, is not a rub point, it's a hit point. So if I grab this and rub it, I'm not going to get anything. Actually, I have to pop it. You saw the effect on that. The more I pull on this to get it again stretched, just a slight tug, then makes that even more effective. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is the simple move if a person is going to grab your shirt or upper arm, and he's either going to threaten you with his arm or hit you with it. So what you have to do is you have to control this arm to get it off you and control so that he doesn't hit you with that. So grabbing and threatening with that. So this is what's going to happen is that it's going to grab you with that and threaten you with this. Now this arm right here, the same side, I'm going to use the same arm here. I'm going to come up and then take this and rub along his triple warmer meridian, which is on the center of his wrist here, and fold his arm to my center. So I don't want to do this and go to my chest out here, to my shoulder. I want to go to my center, this way. You see how that released his arm and turned his body so I don't have to worry about that as much. Now, as soon as I do that, he's vulnerable to the point right here where the crease of his arm is. So I'm going to use my waist to enhance my pull and pull me away from that. At the same time, I strike out. So I pushed him away. I released the arm by hitting his arm, so I don't have to worry about that. And I've gotten away from that, so now I can just run. Right. The second way he can grab you is if he grabs me and twists like this, because some people will grab you like that, so you have real tight. Now I won't be able to get behind you because I have to go under like this, and that throws me a disadvantage, so I'm all thrown off. I will use in here is a lung meridian, and this is a rub point. So again, I would come out here and then rub it, and you see, I get a nice reaction again. Even when he's threatened me with that, I'm pulling toward my center, and again, I just knock it away. Okay. Let's do it from this side. Okay. He grabs me, I lift up, and I come in and see how the reaction. I just take this arm and hit where his crease is as I go away. Now, just grab my upper arm. Okay. Again, he has my arm in that. I can still just come in here like this, or like this, the same arm pulls me in, and I just get in there. Takes me down. So, now, that's the simple method. Now, a complex method, if he grabs my shirt again, and I have both hands free, I'm going to take this hand and push this up that direction, not this way, but that direction. And I use the heart 2 point, which is when you press the arm and you have your bicep here, heart 2 is in here. Right? The reason I'm going to do that is going to want to put this arm over, but there's the touch point right here that I have to get to. And if he's grabbed me and turned it, if I do this, he just pushes this arm and pushes me off the way. Or he can hit me while I'm doing this because I can't see him move. He just smacks me. Okay? So what I want to do is take this out, and that gives me this. Just wait a second. When he grabs me, I do this to get this out and separate this arm from his body here so he can't pull in tight. So I'm going that way with that. That lifts this up so I can get this in here, and I pull this across my body. I touch this, and that loosens this, but when I bend this, you can't keep your hand tight if you bend it back, because these ligaments control the ability to close the hand. Now, good light. I'm using, if I'm doing this and this, but he's still going to punch me, I can take my leg out there and just pop his knee. So I have my hands tied up, but my leg is free. And now I can get him. Okay, what we're going to talk about now is using the release where we lift the guy's arm up, grab his point so we can get to it, that's why we're lifting this up, and taking him off. We did it when somebody grabbed the shirt, but another reason to be able to have this technique is if somebody grabs your hair with 2 hands, and this happens in fights between women a lot, when they're going to grab that nice long hair and shake the head. And with your fingers tangled in the hair, it's hard to use a lot of the other techniques, and because it's up at the top of your head, it's hard to use the simple ones that we showed before, so you have to use a complex one to get out of it, but it does work. So what we're going to do is go ahead and grab my head like that, and just imagine I have long hair. But what I want to do is not fight both his hands, but I'm just going to attack the one hand. If I attack his left hand, it's going to be weaker than his right hand in most cases. But it will have the effect of releasing his other hand. So again, I want to lift this up so he doesn't have good control of this arm. I break the contact of his body and his arm. I can reach up like this to grab this point and then press it on my head like that. You see how it opens up. And when I do that, show him on this side. Okay, grab again. Here, I'm getting that other hand off because it will fall down when I put energy into this arm to bend it. That arm wants to fall away. Right? So what we're trying to do, and let's do it just at this angle, is that this hand's going to come up here, lift this up, this hand's going to come under, grab this point, and I turn that to get him off. And then I can again control him. Okay? Let's try it this angle. Grab again. I go up here, go here, bend this one, and take them off. When somebody grabs your arm, again, we can just use these to loosen that to take it off like we showed. But for some reason, this hand is tied up. We can't use both our hands. We can use another method where we're using the fire movement. We're going to go like this. You see where that dents his wrist, and just come back down. Because as I bend his wrist, that is going to take this, do the fire movement, I'm going to take the angle over to his other side. So he's going that way, we're trying to fight him in that. He actually wants to pull me toward him. I'm just going to move it slightly that way. And that, you see, it bent his wrist, which freed his fingers from a tight grip, and I just rotated out. Now that'll work on this side too. He's grabbed me, pull. Again, if I pull back in that too much, it's yang against yang in that. I could pull a little bit to get him to pull back, because I can go in this direction, in and out. I'll show that on this side. As he pulls, I pull slightly to make sure he continues to pull. Because actually I want to go this way, and by turning this way, I just opened his arm from his chest a little bit. He's strongest when his arm is close to his chest and pull me to his hip. So I have to defeat that. By doing this, I pull that, it's weakened this, weakened his grip with this, and I go out. So I'm doing, it's coming through like this. If I had it with two hands, you can't stop me from crossing my own hands. If he's really strong, I can still come here and release that, because I'm coming through here. Now if he's so strong I can't do that, I again just go this way, and I'm out. What we're going to take a look at is activating points in between the fingers that will cause the knee to buckle and his body to turn and his other hand to pull back by using the cross-extensor reflex of what we're doing. The weakest part of the hand is actually this point right in here, triple warmer 3. But there are similar points on any side of the fingers that you can use the finger control on. The key to the finger control is when you grab a finger, you just slide up like this so you catch it. But you want to go to the end of the finger, so that instead of pushing along here, you have a nice lever. Because you want to stretch this nerves, these different nerves in here, so that when you touch them, they're more sensitive to it. So if I just grab this and I do this, I don't get a reaction because he fights it and I'm not on the nerve. This is across his bones. I want to be able to go in between his bones to get to that. Now again, I don't like to immediately grab something and try to dot it, because then I have to look down at it. I don't want to have to look down at it. I want to be able to be looking at my opponent. And so when I do grab a finger in here, I'm going to do grab and pull in like this. This is the main finger I'm using to activate it. And I'll use the thumb to press that finger back toward him. So when I grab this, I come here and just pull my finger in. Now I'm doing it multiple times here so you get the concept, but I just want to do that. So what I've done is I stretched this and I pulled this. Now for this illustration I went towards him. But you don't want to do that, you want to pull it towards your center. This is called small circle going towards your center. Right? And that makes it even more effective. You see how I dip down, and as you can see his head coming down. Okay. So in that case, what I've done is I've activated this point, and it's very, very careful that you do this. Don't try to do it with your fingers flat, because you're going to miss going in between. What you want to do is curl that and sort of like scrape with your fingertips. You can't do it with your nails, because we're not trying to scrape them, we're trying to activate the point. But just in here. Right? Now that can be on this finger, or if I, when his hand's out and I grab, and I catch the second finger. Again, I can do the same thing. I'm just going to go for this point in between. But I have to go from the base here up to the top, so I have this straight. And I'm pushing it toward him, but I'm pulling this towards me, so I'm getting a double action. So it's going in here. And it works on this one too. And it works on this one. Now I can do the outside on this, because there's a point actually out here too. So I actually do that too. This one though is best if I grab it with this hand, and then this goes in here. So I just grab this, and you see again, you get to see his face in the camera because he pulls down. Now, with the thumb, that doesn't work too well. It's got, the structure in here isn't good for that. So you don't want to, if you accidentally grab his thumb, you don't want to try doing this on this, it's not going to work. You just want to go out. Because what I'm doing is activating this one on his thumb in here and pull him out. Now this isn't going to control him as much, but you did see a reaction. So as soon as I do that, I want to come through. Okay. Now this works fine for one finger, but I have a little problem if I accidentally grab two, which again could happen on the street. Two fingers doesn't alarm these. That's the term that they use. When I get one finger, his body knows that I have enough strength in my body to break this finger. And so it alarms and says, I'm going to go with it rather than try to fight it. But with two fingers, the body structure says he can take that. So what I have to do is fool the body to actually unbalance it so it knows that now it could break. By doing that, if I go up first, now his body weight contributes, so now he goes down. Now see, and you'll see when kids like to do a game where who's strong and that who can force that's both everybody's trying to yang it. All I have to do is go up and then down, and he goes. Because I'm activating these points by first going up. And because I have more than one, I have to go up first. Again, my strength is towards me rather than trying to go outward. I just go up and then down. And again, you can make it a little harder if you go towards you rather than just going down. It activates it even more. Are on the inside of the leg in here, and yeah, some outside ones more important are up here. There's a point down here called the triple yin because there's three yin meridians that come up here, and spleen 6 is the major point that we'll be working against. The way to visualize where it is, if you take your opponent's hand width, and because he and I are about the same size, if I put this, so this is down here, and wrap this around, right there is where to locate that point. The point can actually be struck three ways. It can be struck up, out, or down. They have slightly different effects. The down one is the most dangerous to use when you're practicing, because what it actually does is releases the ankle, turns the ankle, and the body weight can actually snap that ankle if he's very heavy, and because he doesn't have the balance to put his weight on it. And you may be helping that by what your hand's doing, that you're locked up, and you hit this with the feet. So you can force his weight on that and cause him problems. So this point here, if you just see, if I just tap it with my hand, here I get a nice reaction, and that disrupted his balance. If I go upward on that, you see how, again, I get a nice effect. And that, when we're kicking these, again, up here I'd be kicking upward against that, and so I get that nice upward direction. If I'm kicking and down on it, that's when I activate it, and my weight can go on top of that and cause the break. Now, around the knee, you have the stomach and the spleen coming up. So you have spleen 9 and 10 on both sides. You draw an X here. The angle to hit is this way or that way on these to activate them. So again, with this one, if I'm coming up here, it's going to loosen his knee. Therefore, he's not going to be able to keep his weight on it. So I tap that like this. I get a nice reaction. Now, as you saw, the angle here, I hit up this way. Now, on myself, it's hard to get to that, to see it.
You see how that reacted, how this came up. The same on this side. Okay? I'm coming up this way. When I kick, I can do this or this, either come up here or down here. If I'm doing this, you see how that kind of jerk reaction. It's just coming down across. Again, you can do it to yourself by just tapping like that and you get a nice reaction. Or here, you tap this way. You see how that, again, releases the ankle. Very similar to when I tap this downward.
Now we're going to show a demonstration of what we're talking about with the kicks. Normally with the hands again, we would be doing something with them so he doesn't see the kick. When we're close enough like this, you can actually sneak some of these kicks up. We just come up and kick. Now the target I'm going to be kicking is in here where the knees are cross-band X. You kick this way, this way, this way, this way to release that knee. And so that's why we're coming up with those. It's very dangerous to practice because it's hard to control. Once he loses his balance, he's going to fall into something, especially when you're doing a second kick. Even in practice, it's difficult to do. And you wouldn't want to do this in free sparring because it's too dangerous to your opponent who gets hits with it, because you can break the ligaments in his legs now. If he doesn't have his hands up, you're still doing this to get his attention so he doesn't see that coming. See, from here, it depends on which leg I'm going to kick. And this time, he stepped toward my center. Okay? So we're going to go for that leg, which is blocked by this one, my path. I can just hit this one up here, like that. Okay? If he stepped wide with this, step this to the outside, and grab it, because now he's going to center this punch in here. Okay? Now this one is working me down, because this one I have to turn and kick, which I can do with one of the other kicks. But trying to do this kick, I don't want to go to that one because I have to go to the outside, and it's not going to work too well. It puts me at a disadvantage because it's not easy. But that kick is easy now. Again, I can, because he's got me here and coming with this one, okay, that's where he's coming. You know, so I went out with this one and down with this one. I could have gone out with this one too, depending on the timing. And then down, because he's wham wham. Okay? So I can do this one, and go ahead and grab, here, and then here. And then this comes up here. Okay? Again, I'm doing it very light, and see how the effect it still has with the balance. Right. So these are to get attention up here before you kick down here. If it was just here, and I start doing that, he's going to see it move. You see how he moved because he saw it coming. But this is already there. That's what these are for. Okay? Now, let's go this way again, 45. When I kick this one out, and snap it back and then come up here. You see, I split his legs this way. Again, I have to be a little careful here. That's why I'm not doing really strong in that. If I break his balance on this one, you see how this leg is stretched. Now, anything coming up like that is very dangerous to apply on him. So you have to be very careful practicing against the opponent. As somebody, and let's go about 45 so we get the thing like this. As somebody is pushing in your center, again, you don't want to fight too much, but if I press against him, I get a nice press back. Where he's not really shoving me, it's just, he's going to start, he wants to hold me there because he's going to pop me with the other one. If he's really shoving me, I just turn on him and let him go off. But if he's just trying to hold me there, and if I press a little bit, then he's pressing back. I want to take my other hand, put my pericardium 8 on his triple warmer 3. Okay? And now I'm going to strike that again. And there you go. If someone was to go on this side, I don't want to come all the way across my body to try to do that, because I can't get the right angle for this anyway. This is one where I'm going to, because he's pressing again, I don't want to, this time, force against them. because he's going to twist me around my side. I'm going to, like a swinging door, as he presses, just release it, and he's going to go through. Now, if I don't do anything with his arm, he just pulls it back and hits me. So I don't want to do that. Or from here, he just grabs up here and pulls me down. So I need to take care of that. So as he pushes, I come up here and trap it. Now, I don't want to trap it. When I come up, I don't want to do this or do this. Because as I turn and I do that, he slips right out. He can pull it. But if I do this, where I use this crook of my arm and press, I'm trapping his bones in here with this bone in here. Pull. So now he's trapped. Again, his other hand's free, so I can't just do that without doing something here. This is where I go up here and down here. You see, that pulls his arm up. I don't have to worry about it. On this side, you'll see when he does that, okay, I'm going to come up and try to capture it again. He just press me this way. I come up here and down here. Now this one has to go, the elbow is coming this way. If I just go down here, it doesn't work as well. But when I pull it toward me, you see how that jerks his head. Okay? Now, if he was pressing instead of this side, or center, but pressing this side to twist me, again, he's to do that to off-balance me. And what I'll do is do the same technique. So as he comes through, I do this, but this time I'm going to this, which we showed. Let's get it on this side. All right. As he presses here to turn me, now I'm going to show him that. Okay, so it works on the hand too. He does that, I come up with this, down. Okay? Now, I'll show you this side of it. As he presses, I again trap. I don't do this because he's going to slide out. But I trap. Then this comes this way and down. Now is where you're going to grab me under my arms and bear hug. Okay. So if you grab me like that, it means that you're trying to crush my ribs so I can't breathe, but you don't think my hands are a threat, or you would have gone over my hands. Okay? So most guys will probably not do this to another guy unless he's much bigger than that guy. But for girls, they'll do that all the time. And they'll usually try to pick them up and throw them down. Right? So an easy way to take care of this is to put your fingers behind the jaw on both sides. And just pull forward as I go. Now I'll take you to a side with that. Rather than straight into me, I'll start like this, but then I'll turn like this. So I'm doing the old, the bull's coming straight at you, you let them go past you rather than into you. Right. That's really, just doing that is enough to start releasing this. Especially if you do this really hard, all this energy is down here. And when you do that, it's even more effective. Okay. That's the simple method. And, if a guy is really getting a girl, and she thinks her life is in danger now, she wants to go back here, you have the coordinates of you can divide the head this way and this way. You grab it to this coordinate here, and just rub this to release the neck. And then you take them off. Okay? And usually what I'll do, if it's a dangerous situation, I'll tell the girl to go ahead and hit that. Because that's going to damage his neck. No, up here. Okay? So when I did that, over here, let's show this side what I did on the rub. Okay? All I did is I come up to this side, and you have a gallbladder 20, the gallbladder points come over here. You have 8 and 9 and then up in here. I just grab this like this. I'm not really grabbing it here. I'm rubbing with my knuckles on that. And that releases the head. You see how your head's going forward. Now here, again, if I do this, it releases. Now, stomach 5 is right under, you go to right down here, us older guys, we had this nice little droop there. That's where you're going to hit, but you can hit underneath. So when I go like that, I'm going to pop up like that. And he will release, you may knock him out. and you may do more damage than that. And hit the spleen and liver that's in the crease of his leg and his hip. That will release this a little bit. So I go here and do this. I'm going to grab his arm like this so he doesn't come up when he releases and grab my head and put me in a headlock. Because that puts me in a worse situation. Your hands are going back and I'm in close. Where before, I could do this to you before you grab me, that's what I'm going to be doing, pushing you away. That's a natural thing anyway. But once your arms are around me and have that, I have to get my hand into there. I can't do that with that. But when I do that, now I can put this hand right there. You see how that went up? Let's do this to the side there. See it that way. I have the hands around me. I do this and this. I can now put this hand in here. And I have this up. Okay? Now, what I do is I want to take care of your balance. Okay? So again, depending on which foot is forward, I'm going to take a kick at that leg. The forward leg. And unless it's too close, then I'll do the reverse leg. Because it really doesn't matter. I want to do one of them. Okay? So, again, if you have me, we'll just sing like this, and you come out. Okay? If this leg's right there, I can just tap this like that, and see how you go out. And I have this, which you when a person is choking you, you can, again, use the little finger, which is the weakest part of the hand, to get out of it. You don't want to have to, when somebody's choking you in that, you don't want to have to bang his arms out. He's very strong in that. You're afraid for your life here anyway because you don't have that long to get his hands off your throat before you are knocked out. What we want to do is take our right hand and come up to his left hand. Now, no matter how big your neck is in that, you can still get to this little finger. You can keep that hand up because I'm not going over. I can't reach it. I just want to go through here. Now, I want to cup. You see, again, I locate it. I just go to the base of his hand, go up, so I put this little finger on top of his ring finger. I don't have to yank it way off. That's not going to help him. If he's gripping my, this is going to be hard to do anyway. Go ahead and grip a little. Like that. And I can do this. And once I have that up, all I do is bend my shoulder and show it this angle. When I have this up, all I do is bend my shoulder, and that forces this back towards the center. So we're taking his meridian to his meridian, and that's connected, the organ's connected with that meridian into there, and that makes that more effective. So it gets right off. And if you notice, even though I'm doing this hand, when I do this, his other hand loosens and comes off. So I don't have to fight both hands. All I have to do is get that one. On the leg is gallbladder 32 if you drop your arm down. If you see where the finger is, the middle finger, that's where the point is. It's not straight on the muscle, straight in, but it's actually behind the muscle where this muscle ends and the other begins. And the angle of the hit is not straight in, but 45 forward. Right? So if you tap that in here, you see how it buckles that leg. Now, if somebody's doing, a headlock on you, he's got all his energy up here, and this is very solid because he's coming up here to there. The energy's circling around, and he's torquing you in that. So grabbing this and that is not going to leave it so much with a much stronger hand. So all I have to do is tap here, and it opens his arms up and bends them away so I get out. Now, some people, when they do the headlock, they just don't grab you from the side like that. They're in the front, they'll grab you and twist you around like this. And they do their knuckle sandwich to you. Now, he's going to do that to me. You're going to grab and turn around, turn this way. Go ahead and grab me. And see like this. Now, again, I have a problem here, is that I'm past this to be able to hit it right.
And so it'd be difficult for me to get the right angle. But if I step out one to release the pressure, he's got a point right here that connects to the point in his back. If I tap those, he releases. Yeah, let's go ahead and get me. I'll just show him where that point is. I won't tap it. Have your back here, grab me. So what I'm doing when I'm tapping this one down here, it's up in here. You have a floating rib, and it's gallbladder 25, arm point. So I'm hitting his liver down here, and that point, they don't like each other. That tends to snap you up slightly. That releases your arms because you're trying to... Okay. Okay, in this case, the opponent has knocked me to the ground, and now he's going to try to control me. The first thing he needs to do, if he knows anything about controlling someone on the ground when they're face up, is that they put the weight on the hip so that you can't get away. So you'll sit down on my hips. See, that's got all your weight there. That's fine. See, I can't get up. Okay. Now there's either two things you're going to do. You're going to try to choke me when I'm down here. You go forward and do the choke. Just go ahead, go down. Yeah. Okay. So choke him like that. The next thing could happen. One, it could be just on your chest, holding down there, or he could be holding your arms. And you'll find this a lot because the guys could talk at you and want to do stuff and that. Okay. So now the first thing I have to do is be able to get his arms off my arms. If he's really strong again, I'm going to have problems with that, especially because he's using his weight on it. Okay? So what I need to do is off-balance him. Now, some of the people, you'll see what they'll try to do is they'll try to use both legs to push him forward, and that off-balances him. But I don't like doing both legs. I'd rather do one leg, because then you feel how much stronger that is. Now I have that, your weight's right over this. All I do is do this, and that, and you're off. Now I'm going to turn over this way and use my leg on your thigh to roll you off. Again, if you're on my arms, and what I want to do is use one leg to push you over. Leave the other one down. This is like you see on the earth movers net, where they have they're bouncing on the ground besides pushing up. So I push it first, and then both arms, and then cross, and then roll over. The guy's controlling with the arms. I want to offset him to get him up. So now I can throw this up, over around, and then use my knee. Now choking's a little more dangerous because I don't have how much time. This guy's weight on it. And I don't want to knock him so he falls on me. I want to get him off me. So as he's choking me, yeah. 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 Instead of a choke, he's pressing my shoulders down. And of course, this may happen to girls a lot, but guys, not grabbing your arms and that, but you're not afraid of him because you can't get choked. His arms are longer than yours, so you can't scratch him or anything like that. And you're not strong enough to punch him and get him off. Okay? So we're going to do basically the same thing we did for the choke. We're going to come up to the outside, take this arm along this meridian and fold it, take this one out so that we can twist them off. So we come down here, go up here, and take them off. Okay, what we're going to do is first push him forward with one knee so that his weight of his shoulders over his arms. Now it's difficult for him to maintain when I move this across, grab this, roll it, and just roll off him. And I'm using my knee besides. One attack is this angle. Okay? That can be applied here, here, here. It doesn't matter. It's all one angle attack. Some styles say this is what's really a one angle, these variations.
I just say the angle of the one attack is this way. Which means if he's kicking me with his foot up here, if I'm chopping him this way, it's going to be one attack, that foot. Okay? 2 is this way. Anything comes this way. So it's 1, 2. 3 is straight across. 4 is across the reverse way. It could be palm down, back fist, bridge hand. And all these, this angle could still be a 1 with this. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is coming up. 6 is coming up the other way. So this may be a palm hit this way. Okay? So I may have you down like this and popping up like this. Okay? Or it could be a punch coming up. The angle is 5. 6 is this way. Okay? And again, I could be doing it as a fist, as a hammer fist. This is called a hammer fist. The old pounding thing. Or it could be a ridge hand. Or it could be a chop. Right? That's 6. Right? 7 is straight down. That's why I said most things usually come with a 1 attack, but sometimes you get a straight down attack. Okay? The energies are slightly different.
What do you do with the 7? I mean, do you hit it top of the head or scrape the face or what?
Oh, I can do that.
Off center. Center of the head.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Okay. The thing is, I could be using it where I busy this and then take this out to buckle the knees. Okay? I can take this way and do this. Okay? Or straight down. I got your head here, and then the 7 this way, straight down. Okay. 8 is coming straight up. And this one isn't used as often because the angle it goes, our body is designed to go upward as much as it is downward and across. Okay. But this again has advantages very similar to what I did there. So I take you down here, I take you there. What we're talking about is going through, and we have the angles of attack. So what we're doing is basically triplets in that. The first one is coming up, doing a 5, 1, and then going out for the 4 strike, which is a back fist. Now, one explanation of this is, as a guy is in his stance, we're going to come up with this one, and we're going to the side and hit him. So it goes here. Okay? Now, if he happens to block that with this, when I come up and hit that and blocks it, okay, I want to come through and hit him. I'm going to take that through with a retrieval type action, because when we hit, we go through like this. So I can go through and strike him. Now, if I didn't control this hand, he's able to block with this one. And I came through, but now he turns and blocks that one. Okay? Boom. So that's where we get coming through, coming through, coming through. Now the strike on this one is important to understand that you're going to go and the elbow goes through the line of target and not to the line of target. So his target is the side of his head here. You see some karate guys do this, so the elbow is right in line with that, which means you just get surface hit. You don't get through the target. But when you do it, here, I want the elbow to go through like this. Now this carries through like that. Okay? Now, let's show it from this way. Slightly there. Yeah. So what I'm going to do with this first one, and this time you can put this hand forward. Okay? Again, I can now step this way, but still hit with this. So I'm stepping to his outside. I'll be here, I'll step up here, and smack him here, and then take him down. Okay? Now, if he blocks that first one, I'll trap his first hand, but he's going to use his reverse hand to block that. So hands up. If I come through here and do this, he feels that, turns and blocks. Again, we'll pull this down. I'm going to use this hand to trap it. Come around and hit. Now, there's a possibility, hands up again. Instead of being able to step over here and hit him, I'm going to use this to knock this way. Not exactly toward me, but outward toward an angle. Okay? So that will pull his body this way. It's going to be hard for him to turn with that to block effectively, but he can still block. But what I do is, here, if I pull this down, I just tap this to keep it down as I strike. Now, again, if he blocks with that hand, because he feels this hand coming down, and he just relaxes his hips so he can turn full with it, a good block, he blocks like that. Again, I just pull here, trap it, and hit. And hit again if I need to. Okay? Now, this hand forward. I can get this hand out of the way with the same movement. That's going to leave this hand, if he's fast enough to block it, but if he's taking off balance, when I take this out of the way, we may not have enough time to block that. So first instance, it's already in there before he can block it. But if he's loose enough and senses what's happening, when I come through here, he blocks it. That's when I pull this down and do the back fist. Think we need to see it the other side? You want to see it from the other side?
Let's do it.
Okay. This hands up. Then what I'm going to be doing is taking this hand down this way, and that just goes right there. So it's just here. I don't have to reach out for that, because I'm knocking this into this. So it's right there. So that's why we have this just to there. Now I pull this around, hit. Okay? And if you block it, again, I don't try to do this because we're even. Boom. Okay? Now, I held on that time, but I could have, when I came through here, done that. You see how that just touches? But it's trapped. Boom. Okay? Now, we have another triplet. We're coming with a 3 strike. Come back up this direction, and you can use that as a ridge hand, and you can do it with a back fist. It's real quick if you come through here and just do a ridge hand, and then the 7 strike straight down. So I'm going to come across the 3, come up with a 6, and come down with a 7. Okay? What we're doing with this one, let's do it with the other hand forward first. Again, I want to take care of this hand. But instead of coming here and pulling it towards me, I'm just going to pop it to the side here. Again, tap this as I come up with this to this side. Okay? So it goes real quick. Boom. Yeah, let's do this side. From here, I'm going to come across, hit this way, and hit this up this way. Now, if he blocks it this hand, or a lot of guys can do this, they're going to start firing this hand off with a punch. Okay? Either way, if I do this, that stops that. Okay? Now I dropped this hand so I see what I was doing. But what are we doing? Hands up here, that just taps. That there. Here. Boom. Okay? So I'm setting you up. Okay? Then because your energy's coming forward, it doesn't take that much when I sink this down. I'll just go down your channel and cut you to the ground. Boom. Okay? Because you're coming forward with this, here, you see how that energy goes there. Now just slam that up, down, that way. Okay? This one again, this hand's forward. Okay? Again, and take this way. Again, if he's going to shoot that out or block with that one, that's going to take that out, but then that can come down. Okay? Again, because I'm not trying to, with this one, start showing it, I'm not trying to block it. I'm going at an angle like this, it pulls it out. When I do this, it's going to pull it slightly this way, so I can go down with that. The reason I want to cock that right and go straight in, is if I just do this, then you can sink it down. See? And I can't get it. But if I do this, I've thrown it out, bang, down you go. Okay? Now, this hand forward. Here, that shot right there. Okay? So I pull this out of the way and smack that. And I can come up under here and come in here, or if I bowl them over, I'm just going to come up with that and then there. This also can come in here, or can come in here, or actually come in here if I want to. Okay? If you hit in between your bicep and tricep, you have a point right there, and it's not covered by muscle. And I can hit that, and it's going to sort of numb that arm temporarily. So I really don't have to worry about that arm anymore. If I do it this way, it turns your body. So now I don't have to worry about that blocking that. The next one we're going to do is do an uppercut, slam down, then slam up. We just come upwards. So it's this way, pulling back, slamming down. This can be hammer fist. Slam down, and slam back up. This can also be rear head coming up if you want to. So again, what I can use it for is that I'm not going to really attack his body. I want to get these hands out of the way. Boom. What I did is I cut this up and back here to get you to go down on it. And I pull up. It's not easy to do that. If I just try to do this, you can fight it. This, you can fight it. But I do that, you have problems. Okay? And so that's where this hand is. Boom. Okay? If, when I, again, do this, and you block with that, okay, that's where this comes down. And then it just brings back up. Okay? Just going to drag you down. And usually, if I'm driving you, I'm going to hit you in the lower stomach with that to bail you over. And then I just finish you off with the other hand, doing the same thing. Or just take you down. Okay? Hands up. I can just be slamming this down. I'm going to kick through here this way. You see how that brings his head down? Back to here. I don't have to reach for it. If I reach for it, if I just try to do this and reach for it, that hand is going to stop. Okay? If I just slam this, kick this, it's right there.